What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and he's finally been announced. Monkey D. Garp, fist to save his protege, and they did put an official, news post out on Twitter, like a bit of a hype video for this guy. Yes, he is going to be debuting September 27th, 1900 PST time, so we're going to wait a couple more days. We have the information here on the news website. We're going to go through. We don't have every piece of information. Usually they do leave out a couple of key pieces of info, which we'll have to wait until they officially post it on Twitter. But let's get into it, because I know many people are excited to see this. There is actually a secondary legend as well, which is Prince Groose, Kujaku, and Hibari. This is actually one combined unit, which I'm honestly very shocked about, because we kind of expected these characters to debut with Garp, but we didn't expect them to debut as like a secondary legend, which is very, very weird. It just, begs the question, what are the rare recruits going to be at this point? Because if they're going to debut all these characters, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And this is kind of a really weird decision. I think it would be way better to dedicate these characters to their own separate rare recruits. I just don't agree with that at all. But let's go ahead and break down what Garp is doing. Let's see these key points here. Let's actually zoom in a little bit so you guys can see exactly what's going on. Key points. And this stupid thing's in the way. Special becomes stronger the more turns that the end of turn HP healing effect has. Plus, when he changes into superclass fighter, it activates a 90% HP guard and other effects. So, HP guard is becoming more and more prevalent, which is interesting. I mean, HP guard is a very busted mechanic. We've had it obviously with Blackbeard, and we've had it with Kid, both of which have activated 100% HP guards. This is a 90% HP guard, so it's not going to be as good as Kid's or Blackbeard's, but it's still going to be a good effect nonetheless. Let's get into this. Sci-Fighter Free Spirit. Special ability is Galaxy. I really like looking at the captain ability first. Let's go to the captain ability. Strike of a legendary hero. And this stupid panel is in the way. Strike of a legendary hero. Lunges. Lunges effect. Heals crew by 2 times character's recovery at the end of the turn for 8 turns. Cannot be removed by the crew or enemies at the start of the quest. So when you use him as a captain at the start of the quest, for the first 8 turns, this effect is activated. Not a great effect. It can't be removed, which is cool, but if you have to stall for cooldowns, that doesn't really help you. Okay, so whatever. Fighter and Free Spirit, this is the thing. I talked about how fighters are literally like one of the most, one of the classes that receive the least amount of support, right? And it's mainly because whatever class the fighter character debuts as, usually their secondary class is just better to be building with. And they've done it here as well. He's a fighter captain and a free spirit captain. 1.5 HP, which is a lot. 5.25 times attack. Boost attack by approximately 5.75 if HP is full or 10% or below. That's fine, I guess. Everyone else gets 4.5 times attack. Psi recovery 10 and a matching. Tapping on this character with a recovery slot will extend the duration of crew's end of turn healing HP. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with this. Like, you get this effect at the start of the quest. And it can't be removed by the crew or the enemies, which is a good thing. Whenever Garp gets a recovery slot and you tap with him, extending it by 3 turns is really, really good. So even if you do have to stall for cooldowns on certain pieces of content, this can still last for quite a long time. I think that's actually a really nice effect that they've added. Furthermore, if you have 6 fighter characters on the crew, or every type is on the crew. So I know that a lot of the Marines have this type of effect, obviously with Super 10 and Sengoku and stuff like that. Allows healing up to 2, so allows overhealing, basically. So if you've got a full team of fighters, or every type is on the crew, the overhealing, you get access to overhealing. So that's fine. When the crew launches special to apply additional damage effect, which is tap timing bonus damage, converts that effect to extend the duration of end of turn healing by 2 turns. Honestly, this captain ability is not wowing me. I really hope his special ability is good. Where's his superclass? Superclass. Fighters become super fighters. Delays all enemies for 1 turn. Activates HP guard. Extends the duration of damage boosting effects. Extends the duration of crew's damage boosting effects. So basically extend the duration of conditional boost and end of turn healing by 2 turns. I mean, that's fine. That's actually a pretty good superclass. It doesn't show the condition for the superclass, but it's honestly still pretty good. Let's go back to this special here. So let's see what he's actually doing. Reduces 10 turns of defense up. That's pretty good. He changes the left column slots, including block, into recovery. Okay. left column slots including block into recovery, right column slots including block into tandem. So you get a full board of recovery and tandem. It is a shame that he doesn't put the recovery on the right-hand side, because you want to tap on him with a recovery slot to extend the duration of those buffs, but still that's okay. If a side type is set as a support for this character, boost fighter and free spirit character slot effects by 2.5 times for 2 turns. If any other type is set as a support, or no support is set, boost damage dealt to delayed enemies by 2.5 times for 2. Wow, that's a really interesting special. So depending on the support, you can get a different effect. Now that's not an awful effect, but the thing is sometimes you need a very key support in order to get through a piece of content, and having a special that changes depending on the support that's on the character can definitely be a problem. Interesting. So you either get him becoming an orb booster for 2 turns, or a delayed conditional booster for 2 turns. If the crew has end of turn HP healing, boost the attack of the next final tap performed by a fighter or free spirit character, and applies fighter and free spirit resistance for 1 turn based on the following conditions. If your HP is not full, and final tap attack boost and resistance effects will be halved. Okay, 30% and minus 10%. So this is final tap damage buff and a resistance. Okay. Interesting. 50% and minus 20% at 7 to 14 turns. Oh, this is based on the amount of cooldown, right? If crew has end of turn HP healing, boost the attack of the next final tap of fighter free spirit, blah 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 blah, and applies fighter and free spirit resistance for 1 turn based on the following conditions. If HP is not full, final tap attack boost and resistance effects will be halved. Interesting. So you need to be at full HP to get the best out of this. Potentially getting a 100% final tap bonus and a minus 40% resistance is really good. At 15 turns or more, plus changes crew's first class to fighter for 1 turn. Oh, that's really good. But how difficult is this to actually achieve, though? Like, this is really weird. This is really weird. It says, the special becomes stronger the more turns that the end of turn HP healing effect has. Oh, I see. Okay, it's very convoluted the way that this is worded and structured in this article. So this is solely based on how many turns of end of turn healing you have. So if you're able to fully abuse this mechanic and ensure that your end of turn healing stays high with the amount of turns that you have, getting this is insane, dude. Like, legit, changing everyone into fighter is incredibly good. After that, cuts your crew's HP by 95%, but deals 50 times HP lost in non-type damage to all enemies, and crew's end of turn healing duration by 10 turns. Is that minus it by 10 turns, or does it add 10 turns? I assume it adds. It's a bit weird. This article is worded very poorly, but either way, a very interesting special. I don't know if I actually like this or not. What I will say is he's nowhere near as good as the Super Sugofest exclusives that we just had. Every other Super Sugofest exclusive that has come out in the latest celebration is better than this unit, I can say for a fact. This is a really cool effect though, but it's just how easy is this to achieve? I don't think this is going to be very easy to achieve. Just from my knowledge of the game, I think this is going to be hard to get. Unless if you're fully building content around and the whole team around Garp getting this effect to activate. What I will say though is that he's not going to be good in like a Super Boss Kizuna sense, in my opinion, because fighters obviously are not that good, so we'll see. Captain ability is very strange as well. Again, if you can fully abuse recovery slots, the end of turn healing is going to be super high anyway, and then getting this is very easy. Yeah, I don't know. He's a very strange character. Fighter free spirit get a base recovery boost. Fighter and free spirit characters recovery tandem slots are matching and sets all slots to recovery at the start of the quest. That's really good, but of course he only gets it as a crewmate, doesn't get it as a captain. He does have a super tandem. Applies a tandem attack boost of 2.5 times to the middle row for 1 turn, and a tandem attack boost for 2 times for all other characters. This is a very reminiscent super tandem of Super Tandem Sengoku. Very strange effect. We don't know the condition fully of this, so it is a little bit weird. The support effect heals 2 times, heals the crew by 2 times support a character's recovery at the end of the turn for 5 turns at the start of the final battle. Very unique support, so this is not terrible. This can definitely see play. But it doesn't show the characters it can attach to, doesn't show the condition for this, doesn't show the condition for this, and then like this special and captain ability are worded very poorly. So not a big fan of this article, but hey, at least we have the information to go through, right? Let's have a look at the Rumble stuff. So in Rumble, Side teammates get 6 HP, 6 defense, 6 blowaway. That's fine. If you have 6 or more side characters on the team, when this character is KO'd, launch Rumble Special 1 time. This could be good. Targets all enemies for 3 times damage on a 35 CT. Okay. If you have Drake, Kobe, Helmeppo, Grus, Hibari, Kujaku, Luffy, or Ace, target all enemies for 1.5 damage, ignoring defense. That's cracked. It's so good. And then fighter characters get 5 times level 5 attack. This is a good special. 35 CT is a little harsh. I like the fact that he is really good for side teams. This is a fantastic effect. And if you're using a side team, you're probably gonna have like Gear 5 Luffy on the team anyway. Probably. He is free spirit. Garp is free spirit, so good synergy across the board there. I think he's fine. He's definitely going to see some play. He does have Grand Party Burst as well. Gives burst to Psy, Fighter, and an int type enemies CT down level 3, HP down. That's actually really good. His burst targets all enemies for 8,000 damage, and then Driven and Shooter class get a further 6,000 damage as well. This is actually pretty good. It depends on the condition. Once again, doesn't show the condition of the burst skill, but honestly, could be pretty decent, honestly. Not too bad. I think the Rumble stuff is pretty good. But the normal content stuff, like the actual PvE content, like the normal pieces of content you'd be using this guy with, I don't understand whether or not he's actually going to be good or not. The thing is that superclass getting access to HP guard basically whenever you want. Again, we don't know the condition of the superclass. I am going to wait a little bit just to see when they post it officially on Twitter, to see exactly what the conditions are for some of these effects. But if you can just activate the superclass whenever you want to just generate an HP guard for 1 turn, it is good, because you could be at a relatively high HP threshold, but the enemy puts like, you know, burn, or they put, the pain debuff. You could activate this superclass, basically tank a bunch of those hits for 1 turn, and then you can move on, and like even on your burst turn, if you think you're gonna die, boom, you can activate the HP guard, or like, you know, you activate that special, right? The special ability, wherever it is here, after that cuts the crew's HP by 95%, it does damage, but being at such a low HP threshold leaves you very vulnerable to like pain and like the burn debuff. You can activate his special ability, be at low HP thresholds, and then use the HP guard in his superclass to basically tank the burns or tank the pain hits that may become a problem for you when you're at those low HP thresholds. So I think that there is some usefulness for him for sure. I just don't think he's like super duper top tier like most of us were kind of hoping. Okay, so we have the official tweets now from the Twitter account here. So of course we can just see everything here. I mean, everything looks about stock standard, nothing too crazy. If crew's HP is not full, final tap attack boost and resistance effect will be halved. Interesting. So the wording for this looks still pretty much the same. Yeah, it's based on, the end of turn healing and how many turns of the end of turn healing that you have. That's what is the effect solely based around for that additional effect. So you want to be making sure that it's a 15 turns or more, which is pretty difficult to get to, honestly. That's not going to be easy. What else is here? So the support effect attaches to Luffy, Kirby, Helmeppo, Tashigi, Ace, Kuzan, Roger, Grus, Kujaku, and Hibari, and it does the healing effect. The Super Tandem, when crew is at 10% or below, and if any of the following characters are on the crew. Really? Oh, that's good. Dude, this Super Tandem's good. You just have to be at low HP, and you need one of the following characters. Wow, dude, this Garp Super Tandem is very good. That's a fantastic effect. And the superclass, if any of the following characters, you just have one of those units, boom, you can activate this. Okay, yeah, this Garp is not too bad. That Super Tandem, that's one of the best Super Tandems we've seen in quite a while. Because, of course, Garp's special ability puts you at the low HP threshold anyway. You can trigger the Super Tandem ability. His special also generates tandem slots for you. So I like it. I think Garp's pretty solid. Having a look at the Grand Party stuff or the PvP stuff, the sprite looks really good, by the way. Nothing really too crazy, but we can see the Grand Party burst. You can activate the burst skill when your team has used 6 Rumble specials. So I don't think that's terribly difficult to activate, honestly. You can use it twice per quest as well. It does a ton of damage, and specifically if you're going up against Driven characters. Not so much Shooter, because Shooter isn't very common in Rumble. Driven is common, though. So doing additional damage towards them is always a good thing. But if we're talking about like the big teams to go up against in Grand Party, like if we're looking at Slashers, for example, The only character that really gets the double hit from this is S-Hawk, which is a good thing, but still, it could have been a lot better. Like, Driven and Shoot is a very specific target, so I wish it was a bit more broad for that, but still, this is a pretty good set of skills. I think this is solid, and I believe like flat damage like this can also be affected by resistances and damage reduction and stuff like that, so this could also be an issue in regards to that too. It's not damage through defense, but this character's rumble special is very, very solid. So that's Garp's breakdown overall. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Garp down below in the comment section. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.